Hey everybody, Justin Seener here. How's it going? Good evening. Welcome to tonight's Facebook Ads for E-commerce training webinar. Super excited to have you guys on here. We should have a good amount of people on here tonight. And Jason says, what's up? Jim says, am I early? No, you're not early. You're on time. You're right on time, actually. We're going to get started in just a couple minutes. And this is a webinar that you guys have been asking for a while. This is the little free Facebook Ads training for e-commerce. And I'm betting that almost everyone in here has some type of e-commerce store. And it doesn't matter if it's Shopify or ClickFunnels or WooCommerce or wherever it is. Even if you're selling on your own platform, it doesn't matter. You're going to want to use Facebook ads to drive traffic, of course. And Denise says, good morning. Denise, I guess, where are you? Maybe, I'm not even sure where. I guess maybe in Australia. I'll take a guess. There you go, Australia. And Jim says, I need this great training, Jim. This is gonna brighten your day. This training, I promise you. It's gonna open your eyes to basically all the techniques that people are using right now for Facebook ads. So Shirley, what's up? Nice to see you in here. See a lot of familiar names in here, and we got a couple people from Australia. Vicky says I'm here from Australia. Caleb, what's up? Caleb's a brand new T-shirt Bootcamp member. What's up? Nice to see you in here, Caleb. Let's see. Yassine says I'm creating ads in my Power Editor right now. That's great. You see it. I'm going to show you some tips today in terms of doing that. G, what's up, man? Kyle, what's up? John, a lot of familiar names. We're going to get started in just a minute. I'm just going to let a couple of the stragglers join in here. We had a lot of people register for this webinar, so we should have a good amount of people on here. And we've had a lot of people requesting the replay. And I think I'm going to make it available to you guys after this. So as long as you pre-registered for this training, if you're on here right now, if you're listening to this, then absolutely you're going to get a replay of this. Okay, so I'll send that out afterwards. What's up, Barbara? Leona? Yeah, Caleb, for sure. You're welcome. And by the way, anyone who's in the bootcamp, I see a lot of bootcamp members here. Of course, all the replays get placed into the bootcamp as well. So you'd always have lifetime access on that. But anyway, anyone here, as you guys can see, I'm recording this, and we're going to get started in just a minute. And I think that kind of the overarching thing here is that there's a lot of different strategies that are working right now, and I'll go into that. But if you have a strategy that's working, that and it's different than this one, right? Then that doesn't mean that it's a bad strategy, right? Whatever works is a good strategy. And I've talked to tons of different people in this industry. I've looked at so many stores, looked at so many people's strategies, and I see people, doing it well, the way that I do it. I've had some coaching students lately who have done it some different ways, and I've kind of learned from them as well. I mean, I'm really just learning that there's tons of different ways to do it. That's the point. Right? I'm going to show you a couple different techniques tonight. I'm really going to let you know really about everything that there is out there in terms of what you should be doing. And the bottom line on every single one of these strategies is that you have to test them to make sure that it works, right? It might not work for your niche. It might not work for your store. It might not work for your products. It might not work for your strategy. And it doesn't matter, right? There's other strategies out there, right? But the key is you need to understand the concepts of what is available in terms of good ads for e-commerce inside of the Facebook ecosystem. So that's what we're going to kind of learn about here. And as we kind of get started, I want to ask you actually, what describe in maybe one or two sentences. You could use the question box here on GoToWebinar. What is your strategy, right? Describe your strategy. What strategy have you been using? What strategy do you plan to use? What strategies have you been testing? And I'm talking about Facebook ad strategies, right? And like I said, I'm going to be going over a bunch of them here today on this free training. But I want to kind of hear from you. Yassine says free plus shipping into upsells, right? And that's definitely a strategy, right? But what about your Facebook ads strategy, right? We're talking about targeting and ad objectives, and how are you split testing? What images or videos are you using? Are you doing automatic? Are you doing manual bidding, et cetera, right? And let's see, Brandon says pick post website conversion ads for sure. Mick, I hope I pronounced your name right. He says your strategy. That's a good one. My strategy is, I'm super confident in it. I'm still running it, of course. And anyone who's inside the bootcamp knows about that strategy for sure. I'm going to go over that a little bit tonight. And let's see. Denise says, is manual bidding good? I mean, it's good, but it's not. I think it's kind of overblown. And actually, I'm not going to really be talking about it much tonight. But manual bidding is great for scaling, right? It's not going to take a bad product into a good product. And Wilson says probably yours. Charlie says video views. That's good. Adds to the content pre-sale. Get their email and retarget. Josh, that's interesting. How's that working for you? I like that strategy. Definitely a longer term, or not a longer term, but a longer chain for the conversion, right? Josh is doing something, I'm going to dumb it down a lot, but let's say he's going to send traffic to a blog page or a blog article about his product and basically get opt-ins there, opt-ins being their email, and then using the retargeting function of Facebook ads, obviously, in terms of having the pixel set up, and I'll talk all about that tonight, having that on the website to then go and retarget people who read the article, right? So it's an interesting idea. Josh says it's a good way to build an email list and save money on ads in the long run. Definitely true, right? Definitely, it might not be the most direct way to make money on ads, like I said, direct, but indirectly or long-term wise, obviously controlling an email list is a big thing, right? So that's always it's kind of one of the side effects I always find when you run good ads. You're going to collect emails as well, right? So Elaine says, just got my pixel set up, playing around with what interest to target. Totally, and there's a ton of different interest strategies out there, right? And I could talk briefly about some of each of them, but really, that's going to be one where you'll test and see how your niche responds to different types of audiences, or basically how people inside the niche will respond. And the different types of people are really made up of these different audiences, or what I call interest groups, inside of any audience, right? An interest group, just real quick, this idea of an interest group is the idea of basically subcategories within a niche. For example, people that like TV shows about cats would be an interest group in the cat niche, right? People that like, Purina Pet Chow are people that might be in the dog niche, right? And that'll be a category of people, right? So that's just one example, right, of being able to do different targeting. And again, the first thing I said tonight was that there's so many different targeting strategies, so many different ad strategies that work. The more important thing is what I'm going to teach you tonight, really the concepts behind all the ads and the ads that you need to be paying attention to, the ads that you need to be running for your own e-commerce store. Now, let's see what else. Brandon says, will you have a small Q&A at the end of the webinar? Absolutely. But this is going to be an interactive webinar, so don't hesitate to post your questions. If you have any questions about what I'm talking about or ads in general, definitely post them. I'll be answering them throughout. We'll also do a Q&A at the end. Josh says, the content gives you authority and builds trust. Definitely. Anas, yes, this is being recorded. Anyone who is watching this right now is going to get the recording. Anyone who pre-registered will get the recording, and also anyone who's at the bootcamp, of course, gets all the recording. So, the point of this, and I mentioned a couple of them, is that obviously everyone's doing a lot of different things. And Andy says I can't see the chat box. Yeah, it's just turned on for admin right now. We're using the question box here in terms of that. But go ahead and don't hesitate to post questions there if you want. And really, what we're looking at is a wide variety of people doing a wide variety of different things. Some of them having success, some of them not having success. And again, going back to the idea that you can make this work a lot of different ways. Right? You can make this work a lot of different ways. It always is going to come down to one thing, right? And this is marketing 101, right? Product to customer match. It doesn't matter really nothing else matters, right? Obviously videos or website conversion or whatever. None of these ad types or none of these ad objectives and no targeting individually is enough. You need to have proper targeting with a good product, right? Especially I'm talking to people who want to do t-shirts, print on demand, best business model that's out there. Obviously, if you've heard me talk at all, you hear me say that over and over. Don't expect to go and sell 100 t-shirts of a simple clip art graphic with white text on a black shirt. It's not going to happen, right? You need to have a nice product, right? But when you combine a nice product with the right type of ad and the right type of targeting, right, then you have the ability to do something really, really powerful. Right. So again, none of these ad objectives, none of these ad strategies are alone enough. Right. You need to have a good product, a great product as well. So let's see. Anna says, I saw so many different people talking on Facebook today about so many different Facebook methods. Very overwhelming because I don't know which one to implement. That's a great problem. I bet you a lot of people have that problem. I have my T-shirt bootcamp course. Right. Obviously, there's 50 million other people selling their courses and trainings as well. Right, and obviously everyone is confident with what they're. Everyone is confident in terms of what they're teaching. Right, everyone's confident in terms of what they're teaching because otherwise they wouldn't be coaching on it. But I think that you need to basically start testing. Right, obviously I want you to test my strategy out. Right, I want you to get in my boot camp. But either way, I want you to test strategies out because that's going to be the key to actually figuring out what works for your niche. Right, that's the key to what actually works for your niche. You need to figure out what you're going to be able to do that it doesn't matter whose strategy it is, just whatever tests out to be one that works. So, yeah. Yeah, Toss, this will be recorded, right? And I see some more questions, guys. I'll definitely be answering these throughout for sure. Just give me 1 second. All right. Can you guys still hear me? Give me one in the chat box if you guys can still hear me. All right, cool. So here we go. So as I was saying, and I got this recording. I want to make sure this recording is still going. There's many different strategies, and there are, a lot that are working right now. Right, a good amount of that are working right now. That's a good thing, right? A great thing for you guys because there's a lot of opportunity to make it work. Okay. So again, bottom line: test. Test some more. Find out about a new strategy. Test that. Right. Get a new new audience built. Test that. Right. Find out about a new set of interests. Test those. Right. There's a new popular video style. Test that. Right. Test everything. Right. Test everything. That's the that's the most guaranteed way to success. So these are the kind of things that I find, and I call them general mindset. On the flip side, there are also misconceptions, basically, that people have or that people go into their Facebook ad strategy with. Right? These are things that you need to really avoid thinking. These are things that you need to get at. This is that general mindset that most people have. Quicker you can get away from that, the better. Okay? Quicker you can get away from that, the better. And needing to test, right? You need to test everything. Get into this mindset ASAP. You need to test everything that's out there. You need to test every ad objective. You need to test every image size. You need to test every angle and every ad copy. You need to test everything, right? I mean, it would be great if on your first try you hit a huge winner, right? But you need to test different strategies, right? You just can't go in there and say, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go and test, let's say as an example, I'm going to do a video ad and I'm going to do a 5 million person audience and I'm going to see if it works and that's it, right? That's not a test, right? Sure, you're doing one thing. You're not comparing it to anything else, though. Right, you don't know what is working. Even if it does work, right, you need to still figure out, is this consistent, right? Likely it's not going to be. You need to find things over and over that are going to constantly be working. You just can't basically go in there and say, I'm going to try one thing and that's it. You need to test as many different strategies as you can find until you find one that works for you, because the bottom line is you find that people are having huge success, right? There's numerous success stories inside the Bootcamp group. Every single day you go and see the screenshots. This is clearly working. You just need to go and make it work, right? Don't just go and run one test and think you're done, right? And this is the biggest thing I see, like in my groups every day, especially in the free group, right? People saying, "Why isn't this working?" I've had this ad on since this morning. I spent $1 and it's not working. And I mean, you only spent $1, right? You don't need to spend a lot of money to figure out a winner or a loser, but you need to have a little bit of patience, right? You need to be realistic with what's going on in terms of the business, right? When you see people that have big numbers, you also see that they have huge amounts of traffic. And it doesn't matter how you get your traffic, you're paying for it one way or the other, right? You need to be running ads, and to get that much traffic, people are spending a lot of money. So think about it, $1.81, and when you post a screenshot or you ask a question, why are my ads working? You need to be dedicating, $25+ to a product test, right? You need to get data. You need to give Facebook a chance to actually succeed in the quest of finding customers, right? So $1.81 is not enough, right? So I see some questions. Gianfranco says $5 per day. Is that enough? I think so, right? I'm still of the opinion. I'm still running the strategies, trying to find winners out of volume and doing testing as cheaply as I can. $5 a day, 5 days, right? And I guarantee if you have a winner in that $25 period, you're going to find out about it, or you'll notice. And that's actually one of my points here. Actually, just go to it because that's my next point. Right, you won't miss a winner. Right, so there are actually a couple different strategies, and really some strategies that are contradictory and still work. So I know some other people that are doing much lower budgets for much lower time, just more ad sets, and having success there. Again, I think that you need to spend at least $25 for a product to really give it a chance. Right, but for me, it's $5 a day, 5 days, spreading that out right over one ad set. That would be at least one or maybe two tests for a product, right? But I don't think you need to. Some other people want to go $25, $30 a product, and especially if they have higher margin products, that definitely works, right? And for me, I'd prefer to keep it small and basically find only the ones that are really just the obvious winners, right? You play the volume game there. Okay. So let's see. These are a lot of questions. Caleb says, do static images with video backgrounds do well? It's something that, I could never answer, right? I mean, I've for videos, especially ones where, some of my best video ads ever have been slideshow videos, because I just have T-shirt mock-ups of the T-shirt, the women's cut, the long sleeve shirt, and what else? The hoodie, right? And that's it. And, they just slide back and forth. Facebook makes it automatically for you, and that works. I think it's less about the quality. I mean, if you have a great produced product video, that would be a huge asset, right? But I think, again, the benefit of video ads, it's been this way for a while, is if you hit the right targeting, you'll get some really cheap impressions. So, I think that a static background image, or a cool background, a cool like animating background with just a product image, that would be fine, right? I would definitely go ahead and test that. All right, Caleb says, well, even a T-shirt mock-up on a video background, absolutely. All right, that definitely works. I did that for the holidays a lot with those ugly Christmas sweaters. Definitely works, right? But again, I don't think it's I don't think those videos are exactly assets. They're not high quality or anything like that. They're probably going to work. If the product is going to work, it's going to work regardless. If you do a website conversion photo post or a actual video. Okay, let's see. I see, Justin. How can we have multiple Facebook ads accounts? You would have business account or business manager, right? Business manager would then allow you to do a lot of different things. Business.facebook.com. You'd basically be able to do everything when you have a business manager account. You could have up to 5,000 accounts. You start off with 2, but you could request more, and they can give you, up to 5,000 accounts there. So at that point, you could transfer out accounts if you needed to, give other people admin access. I think that's what you're probably referring to if you wanted to sell the account. Okay, so Facebook gives you what you ask for, right? This is a big one, right? And you have to get in this mindset, right? Number one misconception I see people saying, okay, I did a PPE ad, I got 900 likes for $25, and I sold 0 products. Like, what's wrong with Facebook ads? Why isn't this working for me? And in reality, the ad probably worked exactly as it should. Facebook gives you what you ask for. If you're doing a PPE ad, you're asking for page post engagement, right? If you're doing a website conversion ad, you're asking for website conversion. Now, obviously, one is harder to get than the other, but what is more valuable to you, right? Obviously, the conversion. Right? You got to get in the, you have to understand what you're going to get. And a huge issue with video ads, right? You're going to say, well, why would I do a video ad? I don't want video views. Right? Sure, you don't want video views. You want video views in mass that could then turn into clicks. Right, so you need to have a lot of them, right? And a lot of video views, and video views are remarkably cheap, so you can kind of take advantage of that. But remember, Facebook gives you what you ask for, right? So PPE ads are going to get engagement. Hopefully website conversion, you're going to get the conversion that you want. And I'm going to talk about the path to optimization of your pixel, right? Add to cart, view content, purchase, etc. I'll talk about that in a little bit. So here's another one: spending more on an ad doesn't make it perform any better. And I think this is a huge thing, and this is why I'm still of the opinion of $5 a day, 5 days. I want to spend as little as possible to see if the ad's going to work, right? I mean, if you only spend $1.50, then you didn't give it a good shot. But if I spend $25, I'm pretty confident that I'm going to be able to identify a product that's a winner or not. Most likely, I'll be making multiple sales in that time period. Right, so if you go, if you're in between $25 and $50 and $100, and you're still not sure about the product, I don't think there's really any difference between $25 and $100. The $25th dollar is as powerful as the $100th there, so I want to spend as little as possible, right? Just by throwing more money at something is not going to make it a better test, right? And this goes back to point one: you need to test everything. The first thing that really the big breakthrough in terms of testing, in terms of keeping your budget down, is figuring out how much you want to spend per ad. And I think $5 a day, 5 days is something very fair to start with. Right? So just because you're going to spend more on it, not going to do anything, right? If you're going to be getting conversions, let's say you're selling a T-shirt, right? You have an $18 margin, or you have $18 margin on a typical one-sided T-shirt, right, with custom cat, and let's say it costs you $15 to get conversions, right? And you're getting $15 conversions, and now you're getting still $15 conversions, but you're spending more money on it. You're still getting $15 conversions. Nothing's changing, right? Nothing's changing there. Right, just because you're spending more money is not going to, basically make your ad better. It's not going to get any better after day 21, right? It's really within the first couple of days. Again, you're going to notice. That's why I say 5 days, $5. That's why you're going to know pretty early on if it works or not. Okay, you don't need to go into the 75th hour to prove that out. Okay, and really the biggest thing, this is the thing that I really focus on immediately when I take on coaching students for one-on-ones. You have to play the volume game. You need to launch way more products than you think is enough, right? To talk to people that say, how many products Are you launching? No, I'm launching a lot. I launched 10 this month. I say, well, launch 10 tomorrow, and then 10 the week later, and then 20 the week after that. Launch a ton of products. Because, again, it's marketing 101, right? It's always going to be marketing 101. You need to match your product up with the right customer. It doesn't matter if you have the best ad or the best targeting or the coolest Facebook page or whatever, right? Marketing 101, product to customer match. That's super important. All right, so let's see. Joshua says, what about for giveaways? Can you do PPEs or website clicks? Well, okay, so in that case, PPE makes sense, right? A giveaway is something social of nature. Even if you were having them click out somewhere, right, you could definitely do PPE, right? Now, let's say I'm doing an ad. You probably have seen ads from me for webinars. Those are website conversion ads with lead objectives, right? Because I have a pixel that's super, super optimized for getting leads, right? And leads is basically just an alternative to website conversion, add to cart, or purchase, or view content, right? Lead is just an event, okay? So you could do PPE. PPE would definitely be a good one, or you could do leads, website conversion lead ads, right? I think it depends on what you value the kind of lead at, and also how big your audience is. Right? If you have a huge audience and you think this thing could kind of go semi-viral, then of course PPE would make sense. But I don't think clicks to website would be a good one. How much money will it take to launch 10 products a week? Not that much, right? Not that much, because if you hit only one out of those to win, you're going to make way more than that back. So let's do the numbers. Let's say you're in the T-shirt bootcamp, right? And you get access to the designers in the bootcamp, and they're going to give you really great designs for only $37, right? So $37, and you want to launch 10, right? So it's $370. So $370, and then plus 10 products are each getting tested $25 each. That's $250. So you're talking about $620, right? And if you hit a winning T-shirt, you're going to make way more than that, right? Because making $18, that means only selling 34 T-shirts, right? A winning T-shirt is going to sell way more than that, right? So that's why you play the volume game. Okay, the numbers work the same way in drop shipping as well, right? You have to find, obviously, maybe not as high margin product, but there's still a lot of options in drop shipping as well. Okay, it's all about the volume game. People come up to me. I remember this was like the I don't know, I guess like the most remarkable or memorable part of this kind of speaking thing that I did. Everyone always kind of mentions it to me. And someone asked me a question. They said, how could we guarantee our success in the T-shirt business? And I just had talked about, I basically just introduced them to the T-shirt business, right? And I said, there's a very, very easy way to make sure that you dominate, absolutely crush the T-shirt business, print-on-demand business. It doesn't have to be T-shirts, just print-on-demand in general. And that's launch 500 T-shirts a week, right? Launch as many T-shirts as you can in a given week. And that doesn't mean, because you're launching 500, you get to now make ugly stick figures on the designs. All the products still have to be good, right? Remember, we're doing marketing 101. We still need to have a good product. But if you were to launch that many products, and it could be T-shirts or drop shipping or whatever, right? And 500 obviously is an exaggeration, right? No one's going to be able to launch 500 products in a week when they're starting off. But launch as many as you can, right? And you just cut them very easily. You cut them early, right? That's the idea, right? So let's see. How many ads should we test per campaign? It totally depends on the strategy, right? I'll be testing 1, 2, maybe 3, depending on the data. If you're spending more, you're probably only testing 1. If you're spending less on an ad, you're probably testing more, right? So moving on right to the next section, I'm going to go more into kind of some over-the-shoulder examples as well of these ads. But the Facebook pixel, right? Everyone in here knows about the Facebook pixel, right? Everyone has probably installed the Facebook pixel in their Shopify store. It's not hard to do anymore. Obviously, there's a section right inside of Facebook ads. I'm sorry, not Facebook ads, Shopify, to install your pixel. Right? Actually, let's just see in terms of this group, we have a good amount of people in here. This would be good data. Put a 1 in the question box if you install the code via online store preferences, right? You just copy and pasted your pixel. Give me a 2 if you've installed it by actually copy and pasting code, like the JavaScript code, into the Shopify theme. And give me a 3 if you've used an app, like Pixel Perfect or Trackify. Let's see, a lot of 1s, right? Almost everyone is doing the 1. It's the easiest way, obviously, right? And for almost almost all purposes, it's going to be totally fine, right? When you're getting started, when you're just wanting to get a store up, that's great. And I think it definitely has replaced the need to do any copy and pasting of code anymore, because you're going to be able to just basically put that in there. So it's predominantly everyone here is either 1 or 2. And that's good. I don't think it's really, unless you're doing some real crazy stuff where you want to have multiple pixels on the same store, I don't think it's worth paying for, apps at this point because Shopify has made it pretty easy. But I have seen some really advanced kind of interesting usages of these apps where they allow you to kind of put combinations of pixels. I know that some people really swear by having multiple pixels installed on one store just in case kind of one account isn't doing as well, which is an interesting thing. I don't think you could do that. Obviously, you couldn't do that through the online store preferences section. So there are some advantages from that. But for me, I definitely think the going the easier route, just copy and pasting the code or the ID is the easiest way to go. So let's see. Yeah, Jim, I'm going to talk about scaling just briefly in there at the end of this probably. Obviously, I save almost all my real scaling stuff. I think scaling is one of the things I do best. One of the things I teach best. That's all inside the bootcamp. And I didn't even mention, I will be kind of telling you guys about the T-shirt bootcamp at the end of this. My coaching program, my course and my videos and my support and all that stuff. I'll be kind of opening up some spots at the end. Would love to answer any questions about that at the end. But, either way, you're going to get a lot of value out of what we're going through right now. And I'm going to continue talking about the Facebook pixel. And it really is, in the simplest form, it just basically helps Facebook find the perfect customer, right? And you don't really have to understand anything more than that, right? Yes, it's technical in terms of what it does. I mean, it sits on the site, it collects data all the time, right? And that's why it's so good, because it's basically getting smarter every second. Every single time someone comes and does anything on your site, even if they just visit and leave, the pixel gets smarter. It's a self-building asset. It gets smarter over time, and it's always based on data. And, of course, we know that data is king. So, this is a great thing for us. And obviously, I'm not trying to sell you on the idea of a Facebook pixel. You better have it installed on your store. Otherwise, you're not going to take full advantage of Facebook ads. And this is the thing that, is kind of debatable. And you see different strategies about this, specifically path of optimization, right? Brand new pixels are, there's no doubt about it. They're less powerful than seasoned pixels, right? Quote unquote seasoned pixel. What does that mean? Basically, it's the idea of a pixel that has a lot of data in it, right? A pixel that's already been able to grow over time, right? And I'll give you an example. I have a coaching student. Every single time he gets under $6 CPM. It doesn't matter what combination of targeting he does. It doesn't matter what product it is. $6 or less CPM, right? And his store is, over 10 months old, okay? If you were to do the exact same product, the exact same targeting, you'd have probably $10 to $12 CPM. Right? You'd probably have double the CPM. And if you don't know what CPM is, it's basically just the idea. There you go. I see a couple questions. What is CPM? Right, cost per 1,000 impressions. It's basically the way that you pay on Facebook. Right? Let's say you have a $5 CPM. Well, then you're going to get 1,000 people to see your ad. Right? Cost per 1,000 impressions. Okay. So it depends on what the cost is. Right? But the bottom line is when you have a better pixel, you're going to get a cheaper CPM, even if everything else is equal. So the question is, how do you get there? And I said that his store is 10 months old. So apart from being able to speed time up, how can you get there as fast as humanly possible? Right. Let's see. Can you erase data on the Facebook pixel? I mean, if it wasn't open for that long, I wouldn't worry about it. Right. I wouldn't worry about doing that. So no, you could just continue, Charlie. Yeah, that's a good question. I got a question from Kareem Izimax. Kareem Izimax. He says, what is the link to the T-shirt bootcamp program? I'm going to share all that information at the end, Kareem, so don't worry. So continuing on. How do we get there? How do we get to the path of optimization? And to start, obviously, we're going to have a brand new pixel on our store, right? So we need to have it installed. That's not hard anymore, right? We're going to run website conversion and maybe PPE, depending on your niche, right? You could test that out and see if some niches are just wild, right? And sometimes it's worth it, right? But you're going to run predominantly website conversion with an add to cart objective, okay? So I'm sorry, website conversion is the objective, add to cart is the optimization, right? Add to cart is the optimization. And different events that you could optimize for are, of course, add to cart, view content, purchase, right? That's the most important one. Leads, right? I told you I used leads earlier. I think going this route, it's debatable, right? I've done straight to purchase. Again, Facebook gives you what you ask for, right? Definitely takes longer to get a seasoned pixel when you go straight to purchase. So that's kind of the advantage of going with add to cart first, right? I don't think there's any advantage of going with view content because view content is just your basic event, right? It's your basic click, right? So I want to kind of get optimized for something better. I want to go for add to cart, okay? And then basically you're in test phase 1 where you want to go and season the pixel. You want to get conversion events that match your ad, right? If you're doing add to cart, you want to get, let's say 50 or more add to carts, and then you could start testing purchase ads, right? You basically go and you're never going to change an objective. You're never going to change an event on a winning ad. You're just going to go ahead and basically duplicate the ad and then change the event from, in this case, add to cart to purchase, okay? So, Facebook says you want 25 events. Some people say you want 200 events. I think it'd be safe to go with 50 events, right? 50 of these add to carts, then you go and switch to purchase. And the long term, you want to just be every single week launching numerous products, website conversion, purchase. So, this testing phase may only take 1 week, right? You find a winning product in the first week, you're going to get 50 add to carts, right? There's no doubt about it. Let's say you start with free plus shipping, you can get 50 add to carts in the first couple of days if you have a good product, right? So again, you see the advantage, and I teach this in the bootcamp, why one of my favorite starting strategies is still free plus shipping, because I want to get the pixel seasoned ASAP. I want to get my audiences built. I want to get my email list built, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to go and I see some questions. Yeah, Jason, appreciate that. Yeah, no worry, guys. This replay will be sent out, even if you have to jump out now. Inran says, how much does a T-shirt bootcamp cost? I'll tell you that at the end. I'll show you at the end. It's $9.97, right? I'll tell you all about it at the end. Do you have suggestions on ad copy? I don't think I'm talking much about that in this presentation, if at all. But remind me at the end. We can go through some cool examples. Let's see. On the same ad set, or do we duplicate the ad set? Yeah, Jim, I think I already answered that. I didn't see the question. You always want to, when you're making changes to ads, the only thing you're going to change is the budget, right? Everything else you would want to, not touch. If something is working, there's some combination, some result of the algorithm with your ad and your targeting and your product. Something's working. You don't want to touch anything, right? The other thing that you want to touch is budget, right? And of course, you need to do that very carefully. Everyone knows that by now. You need to scale carefully, right? Of course, you could do that by following the scaling rules in the bootcamp, right? Let's see. Is there a step-by-step checklist of things I should do out of the gate? Mike, I know you're in the bootcamp, so basically I would say everything within the first 4 sections of the bootcamp modules, right? The first 4 modules, you should complete all 4 of those. But for those not in the bootcamp, right, and Mike, again, I know that you are, I actually am working on a little PDF, kind of little get started checklist. I'll be posting that out in my group probably in a couple weeks. But that's a good question. But again, Mike, since you are in the bootcamp, go ahead and just go through those 4 videos for sure. I'm sorry, the first 4 modules, and you'll be good. Okay. So let's see. Tiffany says, talk about T-Spy. If you Google my name and T-Spy, you'll see a really good video that I made on it. I'm not sure what exactly you want to know about it. I mean, it definitely works. It's great for inspiration. It's terrible for copying pixel for pixel because it just doesn't work, right? Not to mention it's really not the right thing to do, right? But T-Spy definitely works, right? If you start with website conversion add to cart, how does Facebook know which people to drive for you? Well, just starting with add to cart, this doesn't even talk about the targeting, right? Of course, you still need to do targeting, right? So I mean, that's going to dictate who will see it. But once you have the targeting, the event, if your question is how do they know who's going to do the event, no one knows. Facebook has some, they just have algorithms that try to best figure that out. Because remember, they're capturing all of these events, not just in your pixel, but every single user's pixel, and they basically have data on all of us in terms of what we've done everywhere on the internet because we're always logged into Facebook, right? So incredibly powerful stuff, right? So the Facebook will just know. But of course, you need to implement the targeting as well. So let's go over some types of Facebook ads, and I want to see, in each of these, I want to see if you guys have used or more importantly had success in them, okay? And obviously website conversion is an objective that we have in here, but more specifically, there's a lot of different versions of website conversion ads, right? So link post, right? Website conversion link post. How many of you guys, give me a 1 in the chat box if you've used that. And if you've had any success, give me an example of kind of what's worked for you. And I won't share any, personal info or anything like that if you guys are answering. Let's see. Got a lot of 1s in terms of people using link post. All right. Clicks first, then conversions later. Are you saying those you seen? Is that the result that you received from this objective? See, Gil says 1, Heather says 1. Yep. Yeah. So link post, it's basically going to use the conversion objective. Most people don't really use this one, right? Because especially anyone who's following me, obviously, link post is not the website conversion option of choice, right? It's obviously photo post, where we have that 1200 by 1200 or 1200 by 1650 ad size, right? And I'll go over some examples of these ad sizes in a second, right? But website conversion photo post, and again, this is not news to anyone. This is still the best ad objective out there for e-commerce, okay? No doubt about it, right? If you're not using website conversion photo post right now, you're hurting yourself, okay? Obviously, this is still the best ad objective out there. Definitely the best out of the 3 website conversion options. The third one being a video post, okay? Now, this last one is definitely, and Brandon Carter says, I've had best success with website conversion photo post, definitely. I think, so out of these 3, right, out of these 3, we'll call them 1, 2, 3, link post, photo post, video post. Which have you had the most success with? Okay, 1, 2, or 3, put it in the question box right here. I think most people are going to put 2. Right, Fagaich says video post. Everyone else is saying photo post, right? I would definitely put a 2 myself. Photo post for sure. Yeah. So we got about 300 million 2s and 1 3. So, video posts are great. Don't get me wrong. But photo post still, for e-commerce, still the best. It's the most direct, right? You get to show off your product. You get to have the biggest screen real estate. And more importantly, you get to take advantage of, obviously, the most important objective, website conversion. And I think any 3 of these options here are better than any other ad objective. Even if you went with website conversion link post, it's still better than other objectives because of the fact that using the pixel is so important, right? Website conversion ads use the pixel. Okay, that's key, right? And Kyle says video ads, right? So Kyle and Feich say video ads, but video website conversion. But I think overall most people are going to say website conversion, as they did kind of in this little poll that we did. And next is video views, right? And I really go back and forth and between video post website conversion and video views as the actual objective, right? There's obviously the advantage of using the pixel is pretty much why I go with the website conversion video post ads when I do video. But I've definitely found that you can get cheaper video views just in terms of video views if you want to go and try to get a lot of volume by doing the video views ad objective. And that's something I'll do when I'm scaling for sure. I'll go from a video post, I'll have that as a website conversion. I'll also then have it as a video view ad objective. I'll have both, right? Because you're going to get different advantages from different ad objectives. Again, what works, no one knows. You have to test it, right? What works for me, starting with website conversion video post, if I had to pick over video views, but they're both powerful, right? They're both powerful. You're going to get much cheaper or, a little bit cheaper cost per view on the video view optimization. But again, we want clicks, right? And if here's a very quick way to know if your video view is not working, right? Let's say you have, this is the same with PPE. You have really cheap cost per view, you have really cheap cost per engagement, but you don't have no link clicks, right? If you're not getting link clicks, then you have no chance for the product to succeed. It doesn't matter if you're getting half of a penny video views. If they don't translate into clicks, it doesn't matter. Right, so that's the first metric you'd always want to look for. And these non-website conversion ads, you need to be looking not at their cost per engagement, but at what's your website cost per click. Right, what's your website cost per click? Okay. So Charlie says, to clarify, website conversion video post only differs from video views in that it uses the pixel. No, not exactly. There are some advantages of using the video view objective as well. For example, you can add a nice call to action. Right, it's a little bit of a slightly different layout, and it adds a button, a call to action that I think is pretty important. Right, not as important to make it better than website conversion video post, but I wish I had both. Abdullah says, "What's up, man? Thanks for joining us." So video views next. Up next, PPE. Right, PPE. I've used it more than I have over the past year. At least in 2017, I've been using it a little bit more. It's definitely not anywhere close to website conversion, but it is working sometimes. And again, this is the same as video views. You'll know if it works when you're getting like low engagement and website clicks for a fair amount, right? If you're getting like $2 website clicks, then it's not working, right? But PPE definitely works, and in some cases it works. Real great example is when you do something like you post up a couple different products, right? Let's say you have multiple T-shirts. You post up 2 different T-shirts. You say, which one do you like better, A or B? Right? You spend $5, $10 on a PPE ad, just get some feedback. Right? And then, of course, you take that winning product, whatever won, and you do website conversion ad for it. Because website conversion photo post, still the best one. Link clicks, CTW, messenger ads right there at the bottom of the list. Link clicks you could use specifically for retargeting ads. That might make sense. Otherwise, not going to really be messing with those as much. So ad sizing, and I'll actually show you some examples over here. Ad sizing, the first 2 are going to be the ones that you're going to mainly use because they're with the website conversion photo post and with PPE ads. Okay, and I just got a little test page over here It's a little page that I play with in terms of posting some stuff to check sizes. And you see this is a 1200 by 1200 ad, right? And if you've never seen a Facebook ad before, you're wondering, how is this exactly an ad? Well, a Facebook ad is simply a page post on a fan page, right? This is just a sample fan page here that is promoted, right? That you pay to promote. So it's this fan page, right? This post. And if we go back to the idea here, the name is website conversion photo post. Okay, website conversion is the objective, and photo post is the ad, right? So just this part, photo post, is my ad. Well, what is a photo post? Well, on Facebook, this is what a photo post is a post with a photo, right? And obviously you'd have text here, right? And someone had a question earlier about ad copy here, right? You need strong call to actions here, right? You need to hook them here, right? Whether it's with, emojis are powerful right now. I like using emojis in pretty much any ad there where it makes sense. I'm not going to go overboard, right? But especially the colored emojis that look nice on Facebook, especially on the app, right? That's going to be nice. Of course, opening with questions, still powerful strategy, right? But of course, you need your call to action. You need your link in here. This is 1200 by 1200, and here you see this is 1200 by 1650, much bigger, right? And 1200 by 1650, relatively new, right? A couple months old. You can use these for your website conversion ads as well. Okay, much bigger, more real estate, and that's why website conversion ads are very powerful, right? You get a lot of, the photo post style is really powerful. If you were just doing a link post, I don't think I have any on here, it would basically only be half of this height, right? Half of that height. So website conversion photo post, definitely the way to do it. And why 1200 by 1200 instead of smaller? Basically, 1200 by 1200 will be able to get scaled down, obviously, to 800 by 800 or 600 by 600 for whatever device that's being that you're using it. 1200 by 1200 will ensure that it's the biggest that it would ever be. Because when you open it up, this is a full 1200 by 1200. You can see it's super sharp, right? I mean, this is just a little whatever image that I made. This wouldn't even be an ad, right? But you can see it looks big on full screen. So yeah, it's not 1200 by 1200 now, but you definitely want it to be as big as possible. So that's very important, right? And you could definitely use these. Gil says, can you use these for dark posts or unpublished posts, right? Yeah, you could definitely do these as well, right? Totally be able to do that as well. What are the ads that say sponsored? These would say sponsored as well. Instead of saying 1 hour, they would say sponsored. But these do also exist on the fan page, because remember, these are fan page posts. Did you make that on Canva? Probably. Yeah, probably. It's not something I'm super proud of, but it's good enough for the example. So let me go back to the presentation here. Let's see. Where are we at? So 1200 by 628, that's the website conversion link post. That's the clicks to website ad or the WC link posts, much smaller. The advantage is when you click it, it goes directly to the website. So you don't need to have your call to action in the ad copy, but that's not worth the advantage. You want to definitely get these website conversion link posts. Okay. Over here you see 1-to-1 or 1920 by 1080. This is for videos. Okay. 1-to-1 means basically a square, right? If it could be 1200 by 1200, you can have a nice square video. That's what you often see on Instagram. Right. But your video posted either is going to be a square or it's going to be that typical widescreen HD, view. Okay. That's the ad sizing. Okay. So I want to go and I'll show you a couple different objectives here. But what website, or I'm sorry, out of all these ads in terms of the ones that we talked about, which one do you want me to see, or do you guys want to see me build? I just built a kind of sample ad right now. Website conversion. Okay, I'll just show the website conversion photo post because that's going to be the one that everyone wants to do, that everyone must be doing. So I'm just going to come over here to my, just bring over my ads manager real quick. Okay. And before we get here, right, we would have already wanted to create the post on the page, right? So I showed you that post on that little fake page that I have, right? I'll bring it up again, right? We could do either of these, but now that these are posts on the page, we could turn them into ads. So step 0 is basically making this post, right? Making the post, either use a 1200 by 1200 or use a 1200 by 1650. Here's an older example of one that I did, right? 1200 by 1650. You put your call to action over here, right? Here's the Bootcamp link. Or, you put your product link here, a little call to action, social call to action here, right? And this is a fan page post that got turned into an ad, right? And now we're going to turn one of these into an ad. So again, step 0 is, before you do anything else, create the post on the fan page. Okay. And Anas says, when you first start, or asks, when you first start the fan page, should we make a few posts to make the page look legit? Yeah, you might as well, right? Don't go overboard, right? It's not going to matter because most people are going to be seeing this ad inside of the news feed, not on your page. But you can go ahead and add, obviously, a profile image, a cover image. You could add a couple of news articles or whatever, just to make it look like the page is kind of up and coming. Okay, but most people aren't landing here. They're seeing this in the news feed because it's an ad. Okay, so we have this over here. And now we're going to go to our ads manager. We're going to click this green button, create ad. Okay, and now you're going to see the first step, objective, right? And if you guys have done any Facebook ads before, you know that this changes all the time, right? But what we're looking for over here is conversions. You can click over here, basically driving valuable actions on your website. I talked about PPE. Here's engagement, page post engagement. Here's video views, right? Here's traffic, otherwise known as clicks to website. There's also, where's the leads? Lead generation right here, right? So you can do a bunch of different ads. Right? We're going to do website conversion photo post. Okay, so we already have our post created on our fan page. Now we go to our ads account, and more specifically, you're probably going to want to use a business account, business.facebook.com, and you come over and click conversions. Come over here and name it. Okay, and that was step 1, right? We pick our objective. Okay, step 2 is basically where we're going to do all the other things that have to do with our ad setup, our ad targeting, our ad scheduling, and more importantly, our ad optimization. And that's right up here. What event do we want our ads to be optimized for? We're going to just be able to come in here and click on any of these specific events, right? For example, add to cart or purchase, right? You could use whichever one you want. We could do add to cart. Okay. So this is what I was talking about in terms of that path to optimization. You typically start with add to cart, and then after a while, you can go to purchase. Right? You have either one of these. So right now, this is now optimized for purchases, or we can go back, have it optimized for add to cart. Okay. Now we're going to come over here, and we have detailed targeting box. This is where you're going to really make all your money on this box, right on this ad. You're going to be putting in your targeting, right? You're going to be putting in your targeting there. Someone give me a random niche that you guys are doing. I'll just do a random set of targeting here for it in terms of just something I would want to randomly create to kind of test this audience. Okay, Jason says beer. So, okay, I mean, just right off the top of my head, types of beer I could do as a big kind of targeting group, right? People that like different types of beer would definitely make sense to me, right? In terms of people that if I had beer products I'd want to sell to. So I'm going to add all these different beers, right? And probably a little bit too big, right? So what I'll also use is this flex targeting over here, where I got narrow audience. And I'll come over here and I could just kind of play around until I get down to a number, try to get to a number that makes sense and get a little bit smaller, right? We're getting there, right? I like to be around 500,000 for just an opening testing audience, but you get the point here, right? You're going to put your targeting in here, and you know there's 50 million different ways to target, right? The bottom line is you need to test your niche thoroughly, right, and figure out where the buyers exist. That's all. That's the way that I teach it, right? You need to basically cast a very wide net without spending a lot of money, right? And that comes down to just basically being really, really good at organizing the niche into meaningful little chunks that when you test, you could actually get good data out, right? Of course, that's obviously what I teach you guys inside that bootcamp. Okay, so we're coming down here. We're going to come and look at budget, right? Again, this could be, you know, some people do $15 a day. Some people do $3 a day. You know, some people do $150 right off the bat, right? You know, I do $5. Right? I do $5 a day on that. And that's how I'm going to be starting, right? And again, when you spend $25, you're going to know if a product is working or not. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to the next step here, right? Looking on the next step here, going on, and I have to actually create my ad, right? But I'll just come over here and use an existing post, right? And I can come over here and find my page over here and click on this, right? And we see our little ad here, and we have our actual post. And we can come and even take a look at some of our old posts, right? I showed you that cat post over here, right? We could turn that into an ad as well, right? So all the things that we set up in the other section, campaign and ad set, we could set up on the ad level just by using the post that we created on our page, right? This is the post that I showed you just a few minutes ago, right? This is the other one that I showed you just a few minutes ago, 1200 by 1650. This exists right over here, right? Super easy to get started in here, guys. You just make a fan page post, right? So really, really powerful there. Okay. Then, of course, you press place order and you're done, right? You press place order. You're ready to go live, and see how your ad performs, right? Only $5 a day. Pretty cheap to get started. Okay, so that's just one of the different objectives, right? You have other objectives right over here. Website conversion. If you did a different post, right, you could do website conversion, and let's say your post had, instead of a picture, it had a video. Well, then that would be website conversion video post, right? Website conversion is the objective. Video post is the post type or the ad type. Right? This was your video views. This was your engagement. This was your traffic objectives over there. Let me bring it back. Let's see, where's the ads over here? All right, here's the different objectives. Okay, so this is really, the ones that you're really only going to pay attention to: conversions, video views, maybe engagement. Right? You're spending 95% of your time right in here, website conversions. Okay. So I see a lot of questions here. Let me take some questions now. And do you ever advertise multiple shirts at once? Absolutely. Right? You're totally going to want to do that. And that's, again, with this organization of basically testing your niche, being able to test products efficiently, you want to be able to have multiple different people to target in your niche, and therefore you could launch tons of different products to these different groups of people all the time. Let's see. What should the potential reach be? For audiences, I like to test around 500,000, but again, some audiences, some niches, or some ads will just work out to be responding better to larger audiences. So you want to test different styles, right? I like to be around 500,000 for testing my audiences in there. I like to use flex targeting or intersecting whenever I can. I really believe that makes it kind of the most powerful type of ad setup or audience setup there, right? But you got to test everything. You got to test everything and figure out really what your niche is going to respond to. Okay. For scaling, do you increase just 20% each day? Kevin asks. No, it's not just, you can't just, it's very dangerous to just do a flat rate percentage increase for your ads, because 20% of $5 is definitely a lot different than 20% of $200. So you can't look at it like that. The way that I teach it, I actually have different rules set up, basically a grid, where you basically just reference the grid. I try to make it as robotic as possible. So you just look at I call them my scaling rules. You look at my scaling rules, you look at your results, and you just basically change the budget according to the rules. Since I didn't launch my website yet, should I invest on brand awareness? Wilson, no, I don't believe that's necessary. You're going to get a lot of likes on your fan page as a side effect of running good website conversion ads. People are just going to like your product, like what you have to say. They're going to like your page, right? So you don't need to pay for that. Okay. Let's see. Is it true that we should not put $100, for example, right off the bat because Facebook will just burn through the money? Well, they'll definitely spend $100 in one day if you set your daily budget to be $100, right? They definitely, they definitely want to spend your money. But, I don't think you need $100 on day one to basically figure out what a product is, right? You're going into your testing. You're not saying, I'm ready to spend $10,000 on this product, because every single product to you is worthless until it starts making sales. And this is so important when you're doing print on demand. You can never get attached to a product, right? It only costs you a couple of dollars to test the product. And if it doesn't work, then you have to ditch the product, right? You don't need to remove it from your store, but you don't need to spend any more money on it. So you don't need to spend $100 to test this out, right? What would you rather do? Test, 100 products and spend $25 per test, or test 100 products and spend $100 per test, right? Because you're still going to know which T-shirts or whatever product are winners or not. It doesn't matter if you spend $25 or $100. Okay. Are there any apps or fulfillment partners that let customers upload photos on T-shirts? Yes, definitely. It's called Customplex. You can find them at plex.justincena.com. I'll send you that link in the question box. Yeah, Plex, Plex. The question was, can you are there any T-shirt fulfillment apps that let customers upload their own photos for T-shirts? And that's Customplex, right? They're pretty expensive, but they definitely have some really awesome features. You can check out a webinar I did with them a couple months ago. Yeah, you're welcome, Ollie. So best to use ads, or what happened with Boost Post? Rodrigo, Boost Post is basically just PPE, right? I mean, you're typically not going to want to run PPE. So how would you target for, let's say, beer T-shirts? So I actually just showed you an example of one possible targeting, right? And, if the next question is it going to work or not, I'll say I have no idea, right? No one's going to have any idea until you start putting some products in front of them, but that would definitely be one way that I would target. I could probably think of 10 other different ways for that niche. It's a massive niche, right? I've actually done that targeting for a student before. I think there were 10 at least 10 different ways to target people, right? And that's a healthy niche, right? When you can find that many different ways, that means, you have a lot of power there. Once you find a winning ad, do you remove the flex targeting? Once I run through the entire audience for scaling, definitely, right? Because that's built-in scaling with the flex targeting, right? That's a golden nugget right there. You got to unflex your flex targeting, unintersect your intersected audiences, and just have more bandwidth to scale. Jason, yeah, definitely. All you need to do, right? All you need to, he says that's awesome. It sounds like all I need to do is test. That's right. Just keep testing, right? Testing until you find something that works. Testing efficiently, right? Don't just throw $100,000 on ads, right? Throw a couple $100 on ads efficiently, spread it out through different ways of hitting your buyers until you find the buyers. And I'll tell you, the product is not important, right? When you're in the testing phase, it's not about, and this is what I really work on with students right off the bat in the bootcamp, right? Who cares about your product? You want to find buyers in your niche, right? You want to know that you're able to reach people who will take out their credit card and buy from your website, right? You want to be able to know that you can reach those people, right? Then you just can have a lot of different product, try a lot of different things. Okay. So you definitely, guys, this is the question and answer period if you guys haven't already figured that out, right? So don't hesitate to post any questions in the box here, in the question box here. And I want to actually show you a little bit about my t-shirt bootcamp. I see some questions here, and I wanted to really kind of invite everyone to check out the bootcamp and really kind of check out all the different stuff that I'm teaching in there. It's just a program that, now we have over 315 student success stories. It's something that I'm just super proud about because, there aren't many programs that have been around long enough to even get that many testimonials, that many success stories. And, it's really a fully inclusive program. I showed you a little bit about Facebook ads tonight. Really, the T-shirt Bootcamp program is all about e-commerce. It's all about Facebook ads. It's all about Shopify. And also it's about print on demand, of course. So it's really a fully inclusive course, not just about T-shirts, not just about print on demand, but also all about Facebook ads, also all about Shopify e-commerce. So really something that is just a massive, or going to be a massive asset for you guys if you join. So I kind of want to just tell you exactly what's inside there. And then, like I said, at that point, invite you guys in. And there are 5 pillars in the bootcamp, right? Just another reason why I think it's a great value. And I'll tell you right off the bat, it's $997, right? $997, that's expensive, right? But I think compared to some of the other courses that are out there and the everything that I'm going to show you that's inside there, combined with kind of the fact that this is working for numerous people, it's really a true value, I think. And there's literally hours upon hours of in-depth coaching videos inside the bootcamp, right? This is walking you through literally every facet of the print-on-demand business, right? And how does this help you? Well, you're going to literally learn every single thing you need to know to master this business model. My videos are over the shoulder. You'll watch me do the exact things that I'm teaching, the exact things that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, the exact things that my students are doing to really crush out those massive months with print-on-demand and with Shopify. And some of the modules in there, picking a niche, mastering Shopify, working with designers, integrating print-on-demand, T-shirt design research, beginner Facebook ads, advanced Facebook ads, scaling, email marketing, operations, outsourcing, and even more. It's literally everything that you need to learn to fully understand, fully run, and fully master the Shopify print-on-demand e-commerce business with Facebook ads. Right? And Mooney says, will there be a replay available? Definitely. Right? Anyone who is registered here is going to get a replay sent out. Okay? So that was number 1. Number 2 is direct support in the private mastermind group. Right? And this is probably more valuable than the training videos. I'm not even kidding. This is a massive asset. And how does this help you? Well, you're going to get direct access to me, and you're going to inevitably have questions about all the things you just learned or how your ads are performing or, this or that or whatever, right? I'm going to be there to answer literally every single question that you guys or girls post in this free group. Literally 100%. I'm answering them personally. Any question, I answer every single question that gets posted, every single one of them. And it doesn't matter if it's a beginner question or an advanced question. I literally take the time out and answer every single one. Jason's in the bootcamp. He says that's a true statement, and I appreciate that. And it's something that I kind of pride myself on, making sure that you guys just don't buy the course and then you're left out, hanging, right? $997, it's a significant investment. It's totally worth it for just the first 2 things that I've mentioned so far, right? The hours and hours of training videos and the direct access to me inside this private mastermind group. Okay, and if that wasn't enough, you're also going to get access to my network of world-class T-shirt designers. And finding a great designer can be probably one of the most frustrating challenges in this business, one that's going to be very expensive. Right? You have to go and test all these different people, and some of them just aren't very good. Right? So how does this help you? Well, you're going to get something that is going to really eliminate so much frustration, eliminate so much stress and risk, you're not going to have to go and find a designer. You're going to be able to just use the ones that you know for sure are going to produce good quality designs, because I personally use them. I've personally vetted them, and that's why I've invited them in to be these t-shirt designers. Okay. Now, you're also going to get advanced training on, in my opinion, the best scaling strategies on the market. Scaling used to be one of the hardest parts of the business, but I mentioned those scaling rules earlier in the presentation. You get direct access to that, and my 5-tiered scaling strategy. Scaling is going to become now one of your tools. You'll be powerful at scaling. You're going to be able to take advantage of scaling opportunities, right? And I told you the idea is play the volume game, right? Well, if you want to play the volume game, that means obviously you need to launch a lot of product. And if you find ones that work, you need to take advantage of those. You need to scale those. And of course, you'll be able to do that when you kind of take advantage of these scaling strategies, right? And Anu just commented, Anu is in the bootcamp, says that's the best part, that you answer questions personally. Anu, I'm glad that you feel that way. Definitely a huge asset, right? Huge asset to be able to kind of ask questions in there. And last but not least, and these are some of the big months, right, that some of the students have had in there. All my tools, all my templates, all my ad copy, and even more. You get all this, right? You could steal it, copy it, download it, do whatever you want. All of my ad copy, product copy, email copy, MailChimp email templates, Photoshop templates. It's all in there for you to download, right? And obviously, you could just start from scratch, or you could just take the copy and paste templates that I provide to you for that are already proven to work in this business. So again, this is just another one of those things that make this t-shirt bootcamp an incredible value. Comprehensive print on demand, plus Shopify, plus Facebook ads video training, direct support with me in the mastermind group, access to all of my network of designers, world-class scaling strategies and done-for-you scaling rules, all my tools, all my templates, all my ad copy, all my email templates for, like I told you, $997. Right, and you guys can check it out right now, camp.justinscener.com, camp.justinscener.com, $997. It's expensive, like I said, $997. I know that it's totally worth it. I know that it literally over-delivers even for that price tag, and there's some other courses that are double the price, if not more. I know for a fact that this course has more to it, not just on the training side, but also on the support side, and on getting the access to the designers, getting access to all the tools. This is really just kind of a one-time payment to get into this business and be able to run at a high level with a strategy that works with all the resources available right there, right? And again, regardless of the numbers, this course over-delivers. Right? And I'm super proud. Like I said, we have now over 315 student success stories. And here's the link right here, camp.justinscener.com. There's also 3 massive bonuses that I'm going to show you guys today. Literally, I'm giving you an entire other course for free if you get in during this kind of little webinar special. Right? You got 4 days to get in on this little bonus offer, and I'll show you this. But 3 huge bonuses, even without the bonuses, guys. $997 for this T-shirt bootcamp program. Super proud of the fact that there's over 300 student success stories, and I just know that you are going to love the program. Right? So I want to make sure that take another 5 minutes here, answer any of the other questions. Saw a couple of questions in here, so make sure you guys post any other questions that you guys may have. Right? And I'll definitely answer them here. But definitely please check out that T-shirt bootcamp program, camp.justinscener.com. You're going to absolutely love the content that's in there. So let's see, questions. Can I hook up custom cat to my other website and not Shopify? Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. You can't do that. You have to use Shopify. And the reason why Custom Cat chose Shopify is because they know that all of the big e-commerce stores are on Shopify. Right? They're on Shopify, so they have to be on Shopify as well. Let's see. Scaling is something that is not much. I don't see. I'm not sure what the question is. I don't see how it's interesting. Any payment by month. Kevin, I'm not exactly sure what you're saying. But scaling, it might be boring, but it's definitely powerful. So it's definitely worth learning in there. In fact, I have 5 different scaling strategies in the bootcamp. So I think it's a pretty powerful combination of stuff in there. So it's definitely not boring when it makes money. You know what I mean? So Ta says, am I invited into your group? Absolutely. Right. Scener Shopify Mastermind is my free group. You guys can get in there at any time. Do I need an app for flat rate shipping? Absolutely not. JD, you can just use shipping rates. Shipping weight and product weights. Use those combinations to just build any shipping rates you want. Right. I have a video in my bootcamp about basically how to set them all up in combination it's not even that challenging. You just need to kind of go through and set up all the different product weights and then make rules that make sense for really all of your different products and all the rates that you want to charge. But if you wanted to do flat rate shipping, I mean, it's, you definitely don't need an app for that at all. Okay. Oh, Johan is probably right. Is there a payment option? Yeah, there is a payment option, right? There's a split pay. Let me show you guys this. Kevin, sorry, I wasn't exactly sure what you were referencing. Over here, so here's the Bootcamp sales page. You guys could come over here and take a look at all these super motivating screenshots of some of the students in here, learn a little bit more about me. But I want to scroll down here and go right to the actual testimonials and take a look at some of the students and watch the videos too, because you could tell that I really take care of my students and I make sure that they are happy when they get in this course and they really are able to take advantage of all the resources in here. So there are two options here: single pay $9.97, right? $9.97 in here, and then two payments of $5.97 if you wanted to get in for a little cheaper, right? If you wanted to get in for a little cheaper, up front, obviously it's going to be about $1,200 as opposed to $1,000. But I do have this split pay if you want to get in. So no worries, your choice, whichever one you want. You're going to get immediate access to everything as soon as you join. So either one is a great option here. And I got a little note from Andy here. Testimony from me. He's speaking. I'm just showing you. He actually just posted this comment from Andy. Testimony from me: for those who are sitting on the fence to join this program, is totally worth every single penny that you spend for this course. I'm a student of Justin's T-shirt and Dropship Bootcamp, and also took his targeting research course. Those of you who are waiting, I guarantee that you won't regret it. Andy, I appreciate that, and thank you so much for the great testimonial. Johan says 1,000,000% worth it. Appreciate that. And Andy follows up, says, I know I don't know him personally, but he is an absolute gem and honest person. Andy, appreciate that. Thank you. I mean, like I said, I really want to make sure that everyone who's in the bootcamp, it's especially for the price that you pay, there's a lot of content in there. And I want to make sure that I'm available again inside that group, and I am every single day, to make sure that you're making full advantage or taking full advantage of this great opportunity, this business that is definitely the best business opportunity that's out there. So without further ado, right, here are the bonuses. Okay, $1,600 in value. Including an entire course. That's my Instagram marketing bootcamp, and I sell this on its own right now for $597. You're getting this totally free. It's basically my entire bootcamp on how to use Instagram for e-commerce, most specifically how to do Instagram influencer shoutouts. Right, super powerful way to use Instagram as a marketing tool. Okay. Second thing you're getting is my ads targeting masterclass. Right, this is actually what Andy just referenced in terms of something that he took, the targeting intensive. This ads targeting masterclass, a 2-hour class, showing you tons and tons of examples of how I do the actual targeting strategy that I teach inside the bootcamp. Same strategy that you see inside the bootcamp, just way more in depth. Literally 2 hours of non-stop examples. Okay, and then the latest thing, my private invite-only talk on manual bidding. This is now included in the bootcamp. $497 value on its own. I've never offered this as a bonus. I've never offered this outside of just individually for close to $500. And this is all about teaching you how to do manual bidding. Right. So Charlie says, just the Facebook marketing training and scaling rules are worth it alone. Appreciate that. Definitely. I'm super proud of the offerings in here, guys. I think I really do a good job of, everyone says they want to over-deliver, but really in this package here, not only the bonus, but just everything that you're getting in here, the 5 pillars of the bootcamp, totally worth this $997 program. And I saw two people join tonight. So congrats on getting in. I'm going to make sure you guys get into the members-only group. And, this price isn't going anywhere for a while. It's going to stay at $997. But, the bonus package will expire once this kind of timer runs out. I stop doing these webinars. So see if you can get in there. But definitely bookmark this page, justinsenior.com/bootcamp or camp.justinsenior.com. Johan says, how would someone that's in the bootcamp get access to the manual bidding? You already have access to it. When I did the update, you should have access to it right there. Actually, let me bring it up right now. I'll give you guys a little preview of the members area in the bootcamp. And here's the manual bidding class right here. So anyone who's in the bootcamp, even if you are an old member, you get free updates for life. I should mention that also. You join the bootcamp now, you get all the updates that have come with it. When we started, this Marketing 2 section probably went only to about here. So it literally doubled in size, right? Tons and tons of content in here. So your manual bidding masterclass is now in here for everyone who's in the bootcamp, new students and old students. So definitely. Sherry, you're very welcome. Glad you enjoyed tonight's webinar. Ed says, you're the best. You're very welcome, Ed. I hope you can enjoy this manual bidding masterclass. Definitely watch it. Great content in there. It's about an hour and 15 minutes, it looks like. But yeah, everyone in there, once you're in the bootcamp, I see a bunch of bootcamp students in here. Of course, you get free updates for life in here. So Always updating more content in there. Let's see. I work full time. How much time does it take per class? So, Renee, this is all recorded. So it's at your own pace, right? You're going to have access to that Bootcamp group where you can post questions 24/7, but the videos are recorded inside that members area I just showed to you. So you can go ahead and watch those at any time, right? So if you have work full time, a lot of people in the Bootcamp start off, they have 9 to 5 jobs to do this as a side gig, right? A little side hustle at night. And, you can just watch a couple hours every night and really get going pretty quickly. How much do the t-shirt designs generally cost? Tony, in the Bootcamp, they are $37 flat rate. And I'll tell you that these designers on the open market would charge somewhere between, low end $50, $60, high end $100. So we're giving them a ton of volume, obviously, because they're, getting work from all these Bootcamp students. And in turn, they've given me pretty good rates. And you guys just work directly with them. I don't really, I have no part of that really, but, you get to contact them and all that stuff. But it's a really big time saver and a big money saver. Just to, even if you were able to find a designer right off the bat, you definitely wouldn't be paying $37 for a t-shirt. Anu says, only if people knew how much value you give. That's the challenge, right? Anu, got to get more people in on this and, doing some good advertising right now. So hopefully spreading the word. But we have a nice small community in the Bootcamp, and that's definitely an advantage for all you guys. Custom Cat shows 30-day free trial. Yeah, you're right. This is about, confirmed only a couple days ago, but this happened about 10 days ago, and it's actually staying as a 7-day free trial, unfortunately. There is no more 30-day free trial, so I need to update that image. But unfortunately, we're just having too many people take advantage of the system and kind of install 30-day free trials and then close it and then reopen it, and now they're just at a 7-day free trial, I should say. But Custom Cat definitely they don't charge anything extra for using their personalization. It's kind of powerful, definitely going to get better, but they're by far the best option. You can check out cc.justincena.com. That's where that kind of free trial link you're going to get. It's not 30 days anymore; it's just 7 days. But it's just the letters cc.justincena.com. You'll get Custom Cat access in there. So you see in this video, actually, I don't know if you could see it over here on the webinar, but I'm just kind of walking through some of the different videos inside the Bootcamp. Tons of videos in there, tons of great content, tons of testimonials, and really just 3 incredible bonuses as well. So camp.justincena.com. I'm going to give a last call on questions, guys. Just give you a last call. Post your question. I'll do a little rapid fire answering these questions, but let me see some 8s in the chat box. Let me see some crazy 8s in the chat box. If you guys learned something tonight, if you guys had some fun tonight, if I kept you entertained for the past about hour and 15 minutes. And there we go. I see 8s from a lot of people. Bobby gave a lot of 8s. Tony gave 600 8s. Scott gave about 4 million 8s. So I like the feedback. I'm glad you guys learned something tonight. Really take advantage of Facebook ads. Right? Make sure you're doing these website conversion photo posts for sure. Laura says, great value as always, Laura. Great to see you in here. Laura's crushing it. Jeff says 8s to infinity and beyond. Definitely appreciate that. So again, you will get a recording of this for sure, and that will be sent off probably within the next 24 hours. So I'm glad that everyone had a chance to get in here. I see Ayub says, I just joined in. No worries. You'll get your replay sent in about 24 hours. You'll be able to watch this kind of over and over and over again. But guys, definitely check out that t-shirt Bootcamp, camp.justincena.com. You see the link on your screen right now. And I guess I'll wrap it up with this last question from Kyle. What's the difference between the website conversion view content and clicks to website objective? Very big difference, the pixel, right? Optimizing the event based on the pixel, okay? So that is the real big key there, okay? That's the big key there, okay? Being able to actually optimize using the pixel, the clicks to website, is not going to do that. It will track pixel activity, but it's not the same as actually optimizing for it, okay? So there you go, guys. Recording will be sent out again in 24 hours, but I really appreciate you guys coming on here. I really appreciate you spending some time with me here tonight. I hope you learned a lot, and I'll talk to you real soon.